Everybody, welcome to another interview here in our channel, Chabolachas in Eurovision. Today we're going to interview the wonderful, the bubbly Cornelia Jakobs. How are you, Cornelia?
Hey! Hi! So nice to
How
finally meet you.
how are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing quite good, thanks for asking.
It looks like you're sitting in heaven. It's like just white lights around you. Are you in heaven?
I wish I could say yes.
But you're in Brazil. That's close to heaven,
Yeah,
right?
if heaven's super hot,
Mm.
well, and humid, yes, maybe. Yeah.
You're talking to a Swede. I love that stuff. We got quite cold here. Have you been to Sweden?
Yeah, I've been to Sweden once, like quite
Huh?
a while ago.
Huh?
Oh, I bought this in Sweden.
Oh, I love those. And you shake it, and it's snowing.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. I went to
What
Sweden
time was
like
you? What time of the year were you in Sweden?
uh during the second time you took part in Melodifestivalen 10 years
Oh,
ago.
really? Really? So it was in the spring, like this time of the year.
No, it was I went there in 2012, but it was in December. I got a snowstorm, like I got a boat from Finland, and then there was this snowstorm. It was an experience to not forget.
Yes, I understand. It must have been something new. If you born and raised in Brazil.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, Cornelia. So, okay, but let me ask you, let me tell you something. When I read your biography on Spotify, I told myself I have to interview this girl because it was so interesting. There were some sentences that stuck to my mind. They're like, I hate my phone. I was born 5 decades late.
Yeah, I feel like that
Uh,
all the time.
I get exist exist oh exist
Anxiety,
ex, no
right?
exist existence
Anxious.
exist no, it's the crisis of existence,
Existential crisis.
existential crisis. Sometimes the English just stops, but anyway,
Oh, it's fine. It's the same with me.
multiple times a month. And I was super interested to interview you. So how was the process of writing that? Because it's a lot of fun. It like shows people who you are as an artist. You also talk about your family, who plays a big role in who you are as a person and as an artist. So could you tell me first about this biography, which is very interesting?
I'm so happy you wrote that and that you liked it because it was, I think it was a couple of maybe 1 year ago or two, that someone was like, "You have no biography on your Spotify," and that's very typical of me because I'm just working with my music and I don't really I'm not so good with the other stuff like for example like doing like commercial for yourself, or I'm not
Mhm.
like here I am guys. I'm more like sitting in my um yeah wherever I am and just doing my music and doing my art, maybe the videos and stuff, and then I'm like just putting it out there, and then I'm quite silent because I'm no good at like the selling part or whatever. So I hate talking about myself when it's like I grew up in blah blah, biographies. I just feel like who cares about where I grew up? Like it's just so I just feel so I get like frustrated when someone wants me to write stuff like that because I'm like, no one gives a shit about this. Why should I write it? Um, so I think I get like bored myself during the time I try to write something like
Mm.
describing like that. So I think I felt like I if I were about to write a bio, I had to be more specific about things because also I feel like I'm a very ambivalent person who like one day I do like this and another day I do totally different, and it's more um I don't know, I think it's hard to like describe yourself like people do in biographies. um I just sat down. I think I might have been drinking a glass of wine and just tried to narrow down like all the things I thought of, like what how do I work, what do I feel about stuff and life, and and I just wrote it down, and then I think I sent it to Isa actually. I'm like, can I write this? Is this fine? Like, does this work as a bio? She was like, yes, it's amazing. Put it out there. Perfect. Uh, so, and she might have just noticed some corrections in the spelling and stuff. Um, but then yeah, so then I forgotten that I even have that bio because it was like, okay, and then now I got really happy that you have noticed and that you liked it.
Yeah, because it feels very personal, and like I can see somebody that sings a song like "Hold Me Now" writing a biography like that.
Oh, nice. You can see the connection.
I can see that. So let me. There's another part from your biography that you say that your brother Balthazar, he plays the bass in your band, and your sister Nicolina, is it right? She is your biggest inspiration. Your brother Fritjof, Fritjof,
Feature. Yes.
is the smartest. Is the smart? Yeah, my English is not working well today.
I think you're
Smartest.
doing great.
Oh, thank you. Smartest kid you know, and your father, who we're going to talk about later, is your idol, and your mom is a lighthouse. What's the importance of the family for you, like for your life and for your identity as an
Uh,
artist?
a lot. I have thought about that a lot lately, like how much. Sometimes I wonder, like, who would I be if I had
Mm,
another family or another. Because I had a very they have always been very a strong security and like
mm,
feeling of I've always felt loved and cared for and everything, so I feel quite secure thanks to them, and which is maybe also a reason why I always seek like adventure and are very like because I'm not I don't seek so much like security or security is security the right word? I mean like trygghet, like I think the word is security, but I mean some people
Shelter, maybe.
search. Sorry.
Shelter, maybe. Shelter. Look for
Yeah,
shelter,
stuff like that,
protection.
so some people search for a lot of security in their relationships, both with friends and with relationship, like love relationships and stuff, and I think I might have I've always been more like wanting adventure and like especially when I was younger I didn't really see the that I would ever need like like a secure home or I was so messy, everything was like all over the place, and um it's like now as soon I will turn 30. It's the week, the final week, actually. I will turn 30. So I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago I started to realize that I uh, like uh, to like have beautiful things around me or like care about my home, or I never thought I cared about that because I was like everything is music and nothing else matters. It could like look like shit everywhere in my where I lived, and I didn't even have a place really. I was jumping around, and I think that was a big misunderstanding I did with myself, that because my brain is a lot like all over the place and I'm very impulsive and emotionally stirred, um, so I thought that I'm that person who don't need like to have some place where it's like here's my place and this is my stuff and um, grown up stuff.
Mm,
um, but then I realized that just because my brain is all over the place and I am so impulsive, I really need a place that is my core to be able to feel good, like psychologically and like not be stressed and have a lot of anxiety all the time, because I have a lot of issues with anxiety. Um, but I've noticed that it helps a lot. Now I don't remember what you asked in the beginning, but
About your family. I like the importance of your
yes,
family. Yeah.
that's true. So yeah, I think that is a place where I often go and charge batteries, and I feel
Oh,
very. Uh, they mean a lot to me, and this is like especially my mother. I've never met a person who cares so much beyond her own. Yeah, she would do anything like, and that's such a secure feeling, and it means a lot, really.
but your father. Let's talk about your father because it's the legendary Jacob Samuels. Like he represent it. It was actually one of the first songs from Melodifestivalen that I've heard. Like,
Really
yeah, that
cool.
song is great. Night of Passion.
Yes.
He took part in Melodifestivalen twice. He's a big name in Sweden. He's one of the most famous rock artists in Sweden, and you are his daughter. And it seems that your family has a very strong musical background. Like your grandmother was involved with opera or something like that, or theater, and
Wow,
like
you have really done your research, man.
yeah, we have to do
Great.
that. We have to know
Cool.
we have to know
Yeah,
the
but not
person.
everyone is so good at like really checking the facts. I really appreciate that. You're good at your job, man.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate you noticing that. But yeah, like what's the like when you saw your father taking part in Melody Festival because it was a groundbreaking moment for music in Melody Festival because it was a rock song. It
Mm,
was something totally different from what we tend to expect in Melody Festival. And he kind of changed that, and many other bands came after him.
mm.
And in that very same year, Lordi won Eurovision. So I think like
That's
it seems that
true.
indeed it seems that he
Ah.
opened the doors for it. So how where were you when he performed that song for the first time when he qualified to the final, which was a big surprise? Where were you, and how much did that influence you to be connected to Melody Festival nowadays?
That's a really good question. I was there when it happened in the arena. Yes, and I was. It was funny because I have always had so much faith in my father, and he was my idol when I was a kid, and still, of course. Um, so I was like totally sure that he was gonna make it to the final, but I've like realized when I got older that like that was not like for any reason sure, because they were like they were people thought that they were gonna be at the bottom of the people thought that they were gonna yeah, not even qualify to the semi. So uh, it was such a shock for everyone, but I was like yeah, of course they're in the finals, because I was so uh, yeah, I always thought that he's the best.
Great vocalist, great band. But then I also would like to ask you, when did you decide to be a musician? Like, was it before that moment? Was it after that moment? Like, when did you say, okay, I want to be a musician? I want to go through this path. It's very difficult. I know it's difficult, but I'm going to make it.
I was I think it was like 5 or so when I started to notice that I really loved to sing. Like when you're in kindergarten and you like for Christmas and stuff, you start singing songs together and so. Um, and I think it felt very naturally to have that hobby or whatever that since dad was a musician from the start. So, and we were living in a house back then where dad had his like studio in the underground, um, in the basement. So it was always like when we had my parents have always been very good at having parties, throwing parties for every birthday, and like we're a big family, but that doesn't matter. It's a party every time, and all those parties and stuff. It was very often that the kids that were like coming to the parties, we did like shows and stuff and went down and like rehearsed, and then we called all the grown-ups down to the basement because we were gonna have a concert. So I noticed that liked that very early, and then I think I was like 7 when I started to follow. Followed Dad to one of his concerts. It was actually in Åre, a place up north in Sweden, skiing place, and I performed the first time there at his show, um, and I think it was around that time when I like decided that this is what I want to do. Or it was not even like I felt I felt like this is my task for some reason. Or like it's not that I want to do this. It was like this is what I do. You know, it was very natural. Like this is my thing. Um, and since then, it's been I haven't really ever had a plan B or like been thinking about it too much. It's been so natural. Like yeah, I sing and this is what I'm gonna do. And I started to write songs when I was like 7, but then I had
Really?
like yeah, they're horrible, but yeah, you know, started somewhere. um then I had a couple of years. When you get older, you get more analytic, or you're
Yeah.
analyzing like more. I felt like, oh, maybe I'm not a songwriter, maybe I'm just a singer. You know, I went to a high school where they have like either you go the vocalist line or you go the sing song line. Like the yeah, you choose like if whether you're a singer songwriter or if you're a singer. And I went to the singer line. Do you call it line? I don't know, we say
Yeah,
line.
I got it. It's like there are two fields, different fields, and you decided to
Yeah,
go to the.
exactly.
It's
So I think that kind of made me think for a while, like, oh, but it's them over there who's writing songs, I'm only singing songs, you know. So it wasn't until we started Stockholm Syndrome, after we had Love Generation. I know that you were about to ask something about this, but now I was even quicker. um, when we were only two, it was just me and Martina left, or we were three, but the third girl quit it quite quickly. So Stockholm Syndrome was a duo, and that was when we started to write songs on top of like producers tracks that we got sent to us, and we were like, oh, this is fun. And we started to like have fun with it and play with it, and we wrote our first single, Pretty Girls. um, and then we like continued writing, and I've found my way back to writing music, um, but especially even more after Stockholm Syndrome, because I've never been a house, because that was like a house duo, a DJ duo
okay.
vocal thing, the Stockholm Syndrome. And I've never really been into house music. I just kind of ended up there because we had friends who like taught us how to DJ, and we had friends who did house tracks. So it just like, oh, maybe we can do this. Yeah, that's cool. And we then it was super um, people. It was super appreciated because we were two girls who did like hardcore house, and we were singing live on top of it. So it was. We had a lot of shows, so we just went with it, and I had so much fun during that time. But then suddenly she moved out. She moved to another country from like one day to another, so it ended quite quickly. And that was when I, for the first time for a long time, just suddenly were standing alone and felt like, oh, what do I want to do? Like, what do I do now? Because I've always had like people to do stuff with, but then I came back to my roots and felt like I want to have a band. I want to write bandy music. Like I want to have my guitars, and I love to be in a rehearsal room, just like playing with a band, and yeah, that's what I've been doing mostly during my childhood. So I missed that a lot, and that was when I started to write, like really be into sessions with other people, and like start to write more like from scratch. and that was maybe 6 years ago now, something like that.
Mm.
And late the past years I've been going into production more and more. I've always been like co-producing with my producers because I know what I want, and we like decide together. But the next single after Hold It Closer will
Mm.
be a song called Fine, and that I actually produced myself. So
Oh, really?
I'm like slowly trying to, um, yeah, have the faith to and the courage to like do stuff that I maybe didn't think I would be able to do in the start.
Well, Cornelia, it seems that you're doing quite well by yourself, right?
Oh, thank you. I have a great team.
So let's go. We have some comments here. Let's
Oh,
see.
nice.
Yeah.
Because this is live,
European.
right?
Yeah, it's live.
Hey guys.
So, oh my God, Cornelia is here. Just love you, Cornelia, and your songs.
Oh, thank you.
Léo is saying olá, pessoal. It means hi, guys, in Portuguese.
Hey guys. Olá, pessoal.
Olá, pessoal.
Olá, pessoal.
Yeah. Love you, Cornelia, Kaique, Felipe.
Oh, love you back.
Hold me closer, Cornelia. Oh, what an awesome family.
Yeah, they're really awesome.
This one's for me. Sun is the best
E-
interviewing our idols.
Exactly. Stanyo for president.
Oh, that would be great. Oh, that's so cool. Cornelia, that raspiness. This is a good question, actually. That raspiness in your voice that I love so much has always been there, or did it appear later in your career?
That's a good question. Um, it is a little bit of both, actually. I've always had like that rocky vibe to my voice. Um, and I've always had like bits of that, but it was sometime like 7 years ago or something when I actually was in Australia for 1 month
Hmm.
because my friend was working there. So I was there for like 1 month of vacation. And I think I went a little too hard with like being very social and like was being at bars like every day and like talking in a really loud music, so I kind of did something there. I think I did like something with my tongue. It sounds weird, but everything with the voice is connected to your tongue, and I get really very easily like tension in my tongue, and like tension in around here, like which is not, it's not so comfortable. But that started like some kind of more. I got more raspy by that time, and now it's not a big issue. It was an issue for a couple of months. Like it's been in and out, and sometimes I have to be totally quiet. I went to a house up north for 8 days alone, being totally quiet once because I had like so much problems with my raspiness. Because I appreciate that you love that, and I think it's really nice too. But it gets to a point where I feel like it's not nice anymore. Like you have to be like inside the lines of what is raspy in a cool way and what is raspy when, like, it sounds like someone is hurting themselves. It's like
Oh, God.
when it's, and sometimes it can get to that, and then I need to like rest. um and I try to not be as much in like party environments too many days in a month, because it's like if it can really fuck it up if I have a big show or something. But I sound like this pretty much by myself, but it can be more or less.
Okay, that's nice. That's interesting. Oh, Cornelia's here. Thank you so much
Yay,
for
I'm here.
interviewing her.
Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you.
I don't know if it's only a thing in my mind, but Cornelia herself and her style remind me of Robin, another Swedish
Ooh,
singer. Hmm.
that's such a compliment. I love her. She
Yeah.
is amazing and so cool in the way she's done things during the years. I mean, when I was a kid, I listened to Love. No, her first song, something with love. Anyway, I was a kid when she started, and she's been so cool because she's been like, um, she have made her career like last for such a long time. And I know that she's a very like independent, strong woman, which can be very hard in this business, like music business. It's often that you don't like get really liked if you have like, you always have to be so um, likable as a woman most of the time in this uh, business and many others. So I really admire her for her way of like standing by her vision and like her heart throughout these years, and still uh, she made it happen so many times, and it's so cool.
Actually, I have a question about that.
Mhm.
About like because I do feel that we do have more comments, but I would like to ask you that
Mhm.
you are working with Isa Molin, who is
Yeah.
also a female songwriter, and David Zanden, right? Zanden or Zandin?
Yes. Sorry.
Zanden or Zandin?
Sandén. Yeah, Sandén.
Zandin.
Yeah.
So the thing is that it's we do not see many female composers. Okay, so it tends to be there's this rule now in Melodifestivalen that is trying to give female composers a bigger space in the competition. And I do think that's quite important. But I would like you to tell us, to share with us, what's your experience as a female composer, and also about Isa Molin, who is also a beautiful composer, and how was the process of creating this song, and how is the process of keeping yourself in the business as a woman?
Very good question. Isa and I have been best friends for 17 years.
Really?
Yes, she's my
Wow.
like closest friend, and it's
Really?
so amazing. I still can't understand that we get to do this journey together. Like I get to do it with my best friend. It's crazy, and it's so funny because we met in school when we went to seventh grade.
Hmm.
And then we went like seventh, eighth, and ninth grade, and then 3 more years in high school in the same. And she went to that line, singer songwriter, and I
Okay.
went to the singer. Um, and we have been so close for so long, and we have been asking ourselves like, why haven't we been writing more together? Because we both write, and uh, we love to hang out together. So, and we're best friends. It's just weird. And we did do like one like country kind of song for like 7 years ago for her mom's other artist called Jill. We didn't. I don't think we ever sent it to her, but but we wrote it, and we did write one song to my dad actually, for like maybe 5 years ago or something. Um, and it went really well. It was we were both very like happy about how that turned out, but he haven't released it yet. Um, so we have been like, why haven't we done this more times? And I think because we have been talking about it afterwards, I think that David has been a great like um, key in our in that
The
for that
creative
matter.
process.
Like, yeah, because he is such a great compliment to me and Isa. um and I think since me and Isa is best friends, we so easily get into like talking about other stuff or like just hanging out. So it's so good that when David comes in, it feels more like a session. Like now we're working now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because otherwise me and Isa can be like blah 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 blah, talking about life and analyzing the shit out of small stuff, and just getting into other things, which is weird because both me and Isa, we can really go into the music and like forget everything else. We can be like really um, Asperger's when it comes to that. But it's something. It happened something really interesting when David came in because he's also so freaking talented, um, and like in a way that maybe me and Isa, like he's so good with all the instruments. He's so quick and such. He's so quick at producing, and more of a technical, like he knows how to make. Me and Isa can be like, oh, we wanted to play like this here, but then firstly like, oh, it's we're slower at like taking playing that, and then having the, you really need to have a lot of hours in your back to be quick in like making things sound as you want them to sound. And that can, it helps so much in the process of a song when someone is quick in understanding the sound and making it sound good, because then you get like the vibe and the energy of completing the lyrics and all other stuff. So I think David and me and Isa, we just like got this session together this summer, and we clicked like immediately. And David understood me, mine and Isa's like humor and stuff like this. He just snapped it up and like went into it. So we became like three best friends for like for very quickly, and had so much fun. And that's, I think that is the most important thing, to have fun with the music. Because and now I'm probably talking too much again. You can stop me if you feel like I'm talking too much. But um, I have had like a couple or even three or almost 4 years before this year that I was like had this exhausted depression. I don't know if you call it like that, but when you get like you hit the wall and you don't have any energy. And I got super depressed, and it took me a long time to come back from that. And I think it's because I've always done everything myself. I've been independent, and I have a lot of ideas, and I can't settle until I do that. And I have a hard, like, I think I have a high uh, yeah, I expect a lot of myself, and then I uh, crashed. And it took me a long time to come back to like the to feeling joy about making music, because it very quickly, when I got exhausted, it became more of a work that I felt pressured about. And that takes away the joy, and I can't do music if it's not joyful. Even though it can be a sad song, it's like two different things. It's more like the lust for something, like the lust for making music, and that is the key thing for that I have had for my whole life. I've always been so lustful, like um, I have always loved to make music because it makes me feel so much. But when I got exhausted and got into that depression, I like everything shut down, and it became more of a work. Like now I should write a song, but I didn't want to, and that is hard for me, because I always do stuff when I want to do stuff. So when I met Isa and David, I kind of I got so, or like met Isa and David. I mean, when we met our little trio, I got back so much love and lust for music, because it went so easy with them. It was so much like joy and compassion, and we had so much fun with it. Even though we have been writing. I think we have written like 10 or 11 songs after Hold Me Closer.
That's
So
great.
during this uh, fall and spring, because we just love writing together. And even though it can be like a super sad song, we always like, we laugh a lot and like can quirk it a lot. And like, um, yeah, if you can really tell that we are three people who is doing just what we should and want to do. So we're like at three people at the right place, and we have found each other, and we're complementing each other. So good, like in a really fun and inspiring way.
Okay, yeah, that the thing is that you keep telling me stuff, and I keep thinking about stuff to ask you, to keep asking you. Yeah, that things. Let me ask you basically about, let's go back a bit, 10 years
Mm?
ago. Let's just finish shit the comments here because I don't want people to get
Yeah,
angry with
involved,
me.
of course. And I'm not in a
So,
hurry, so
oh,
just
good,
shoot. Yeah.
good. Okay, I can't wait. Probably he forgot that. Can't wait for the next single.
Nice.
I love the Melodifestivalen song and Weight of the World. Win this,
Oh,
Cornelia.
nice. Thank you.
Oh my god, yes, I get that vibe as well. Both Robbie and Cornelia are so iconic that their songs feel like a hug. Yeah, it
Wow,
does.
that's so sweet. Feels like a hug. That's amazing.
Yes.
Wow, thank you.
Okay, this is a nice question. What will you do if you go to Eurovision? I was going to ask this eventually, but what would you do? Like, how would you feel?
I think that's almost like an impossible thing to answer because um, I'm very, very emotional. And I get into feelings like this, and I always have a hard time to know how I will react on stuff in forehand. And it's in one way it feels crazy to think that far ahead because I try to not think too much about the fact that it's a competition because
Hmm.
uh, that gives me stress, and I don't like to compete in music. Though I'm really happy that I do it now because it's a great window, and otherwise we wouldn't have been talking right now. So it's great. It's just that I'm since I'm very sensitive. And are very like easily, especially after the exhaust. Ugh, I can't speak. The exhaust.
Exhaustion,
Thank
depression.
you. Exactly. After that, I've been very sensitive against like stress and pressure and stuff like that. And then I easily, um, I have a shorter way to like fall down than I had before. But I'm still working a lot with that to not to be a little bit more stable. But to be honest, it would be. It would be the craziest thing, and I would probably start crying and laughing at the same time, and maybe faint. I don't know. It would probably be like an overload of emotions, and it would, I mean, it would have been so cool. Of course, it's such an honor to represent your country like that. um, but yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure how I will react. I mean, sometimes I react in weird ways, like when I got to know that I had a song in Melodifestivalen. I got so panicked.
Oh,
Oh, sorry.
oh, now you're back.
Wait, do you hear me?
Yes.
uh, Hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
Fuck, I don't know what I
Hello?
did. Do you hear me?
Hello? Yes, I can hear you.
Hello.
Hello?
um
Hello?
Hello. I
Hello?
try to leave and come back because something happened.
Okay, she'll come back eventually. While she comes back, you can ask questions. I can see you guys are asking a couple of questions. You keep on asking questions, okay? There she is.
Now, I'm sorry. I don't know
Yes,
what
no
happened.
problem, no problem.
I just had to reconnect. Um, what did I just say?
Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about.
I got when I got No, I got so
Dance.
panicked because I was just I had a like I was just had close to anxiety that day, and I just felt like, oh my god, I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna, everything just went over me. So I was laying in my bed like just crying for like 2.5 hours. And then I called Isa back again because she was the one calling me and told me, and I was like, I think I start to feel that I'm happy now. I think it's gonna be very good. And she was like, yes, it's gonna, and everything is gonna be fine, and we're gonna sort out everything. But she can totally relate to those kind of weird like reactions and stuff because she's also very like emotional and. I don't know. Sometimes you feel more of the pressure than the happiness in some moments, and then in other moments you feel no pressure and just happiness. Um, yeah.
Guys, if you guys don't know, but Issa Molin, she's the daughter of the legendary Bobby Lee Green, who
Yes.
is, yeah, like he composed many songs for Eurovision, many songs for Melodifestivalen, many
Mm.
interesting songs. So yeah, let me ask you something about uh, the your performance actually, because there is a question here from Mateus. He's asking, I love the stage configuration of your performance. Please tell us about that. And I do have a question about that because when I saw your performance, I had the same feeling when I watched Måneskin's rehearsal. Because yeah, yeah,
Cool.
because when I watched their rehearsal, I said, "Oh, this doesn't look like an Eurovision performance. It looks like
Mm.
a concert. It looks like a concert. It looks like an artist that has a lot of experience that's going there to make a concert." And I had the same feeling when I saw you. Like you felt very comfortable, and there were some little details when you like you hit your microphone, like your dress, hit your microphone with your there was like some sound.
Uh,
It felt like a concert. It did not, because when it comes to Eurovision, everything's so calculated, the camera angles and everything, and it's very refreshing to see something that's just it's just there. Because when we go to a real concert, that's what happens. Like you hit your
mm.
you hit your blouse with your microphone, it makes a sound.
Exactly.
So it was so good, Cornelia. So
Wow.
what's the idea behind it?
Thank you. Firstly, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you like notice stuff like that because um that is the thing that I was very like I've been very what do you say like clear and like straightforward with when
Hmm.
I've been having my meetings with SVT because first of all it was my friend who my other friend Celia who actually was with me during the whole Mellow time. She's amazing. She was the one who like kind of what do you say it like I'm losing words today. She told me like you should do Melodifestivalen. Like it was less than a year ago, and I was like,
Suggested.
"What? Are you sure? What? Why do you? What?" And she was like, "Yes, I really think you should do it." And because we have been, me and Celia have done all of my music videos together uh, and we've been like producing and doing everything ourselves with everything visual. Um, so I first got really like scared when she said that because even though it was amazing and fun when we did Love Generation in Mello, I also thought it was quite scary because it's such a big thing and it's so easy to lose yourself. And I was young. I was like 17, 18, 19 maybe.
Really?
Uh, and um, and it was I mean we did the music that Red One had written and we didn't like have anything to say about it. I know we tried to like change the line like maybe could we say something else than DG turn it up loud here or something. We wanted to like come with something um, and they were like, Cornelia, every cool DJ have a no, every cool party have a DJ, okay? And I was like, okay, yeah, well, okay. There was like no question that we could like have anything to say about anything in the music. um, So I think my feeling about Melodifestivalen before this time was like both good and bad, because it was a
Mhm.
lot that I felt like this is not me, and I get kind of pushed to do things that I maybe don't feel comfortable with, and also like um, you're supposed to talk about music, uh,
Mhm.
and that like I I didn't feel it so much, but I was in this this position when now I'm here and I have to talk about it as if I love it, because everything else would be so weird, and you feel like a kind of pressure to like I know I don't know, it was a lot of pressure during that time, and I felt it was scary to be even like competing in music, and it's so much like media around it, and things that I'm a little bit scared of because I like being in my bubble, and also having control over what comes out and how things looks and everything, and you can't have control when it's Melodifestivalen, obviously. So I was scared when she first said it. I was like, oh my god, no, I can't do that. And she was like, but think about it, Cornelia, you're such a it's like it's you're another person like now than you were back then, and now you're
Indeed.
doing your music that you are writing, and it's the music that you love, and if you send in a song and it doesn't get to the competition, then you just release it as your single, because it's your music. You just And she said she knew what to say, because she said like, you just want to play live. That's your dream. You just want to be on tour. And how the fuck are you going to be on tour if you don't like show yourself? And I'm like, that's true. I want to be on tour. So I was like, okay, yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, you're right. I should do my own thing. It's like my own thing now, so I shouldn't be so worried, because I don't feel worried as when it's my own uh, like music. I have so much more faith in that, since I love it myself. Then you don't have to worry so much. Um, but what I felt was very important for me was that I want to be doing my thing. I want to be performing like I do on my concerts, and I was early with saying that I wanted to feel like I wanted to have a one take feeling in the filming. I love when it's like handheld, little bit
Mm.
shaky cameras and stuff. So I said that I wanted to feel like you're really there with me, not too like perfect or um, polished for television, because
Calculated, right?
exactly, because myself, I don't like it when everyone is like, and that camera, and then that one, and then the camera. It's like you just feel like uh, that's not what I like. So I was very clear with that in my first meetings. Like I want to do my thing, and you just capture it in the way we can. Yeah, I wanted to feel live, and like a rock concert was my goal.
It felt like that. Okay, so let me ask you something. I'll go through the questions here, and then I'm gonna
Mm?
ask you something about Melody Festival again.
Yeah.
Tommy, he's saying, "Love your song and performance, Cornelia, and your voice is so beautiful. It somehow reminds me of Nina Persson." Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's my biggest idol. I love Nina Persson.
Great singer.
That makes me
Hope
so happy.
hope you fly the Swedish flag in Turin. Cheers from
Oh,
Norway.
thank you so much.
Francisco Rodriguez is saying, Cornelia, love your song. It's just an amazing masterpiece. I really hope see you in Turin in May. Best of luck.
Thank you. That's so
Uh, your
sweet.
your voice feels like home. I don't know if that makes sense. I love your raspy tone. You go down. You do when you sing. I'll find someone else.
Wow, that's so specific.
It
That makes
is.
me really happy. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You are a great host. I think she's talking about me. Aha.
Oh, I think so. Yes, I think so, actually.
Who is your favorite Eurovision act? This is something that every time the fans ask. I never like to ask that because they eventually are going to ask, "What's your favorite Eurovision act? Do
Yeah,
you follow Eurovision?" Okay, answer that.
yeah. Well, I think I got to say that I really loved Måneskin last year. I thought it was so nice. But except that, I also loved Lordi, Hard Rock Hallelujah. And but that was a long time ago now. I mean, Loreen, amazing, amazing. I really loved also Portugal last year. That was like a band, a guy with a hat, right?
Yeah, I love the Black Mamba.
Yeah, it
Love is
was
on my
black and
side.
white in the beginning, and then it got into color. I thought that was really cool last year. Um, yeah, there's a lot of great ones. I also, if to be nostalgic, I also love ABBA.
Oh, for sure.
So, and Carola, like Fångad av en stormvind. What is that in English? Did it win?
Caught by a love
Fångad av en
storm.
stormvind, fast for day. I don't remember how it went in the English version.
I think it's caught by a love storm or something like
Uh,
that. I think in English it's caught by a storm wind, right? Or windstorm or
uh-huh.
something like that.
Hmm.
But I
Yeah,
think that the English version is caught by a love storm. I don't like the English version. I think in Swedish is perfect.
you
I love
do.
that song. I love that song. I love
It's
Carola.
so
She's
great.
just
I was
amazing.
so happy she was writing because she's I was singing her songs when I was 7 years old, and she wrote to me on Instagram, or she wrote a
Oh
really
yeah.
pretty, and I was like, oh, Cornelia, 6 year old, would have been crying out loud,
Oh yeah. I
happy
saw
tears.
she posted on Instagram supporting you. That's great. Yeah,
Yes,
indeed.
it was so
Indeed.
sweet. She really like took her time to write like specifically what she liked, and she was so sweet.
That's
That
a
was
great
amazing.
endorsement, Cornelia.
Yes, really cool. I'm that was like, what is this happening? Crazy.
Matheus is saying he entertains people in his live stream. Yeah, I do that.
You do? Oh
Yeah, I do.
yes.
Cornelia, do you have a moment with Eurovision that you can't forget? Guys, there's so many comments here.
Nu ska vi se. Do you like? Can you? Is your when you say Eurovision? Is it only the big Eurovision, or can I
Could
like?
be Melodifestivalen, can be
Yeah,
Melodifestivalen, was
because
this
I
like?
guess the biggest is when Dad was going straight to the
Yeah.
finals when I was like 13 or 14. That was crazy, and yeah, that's a moment I won't forget. Definitely. And
And
of course, 2 Saturdays ago is a moment I will never forget. When they like shouted out my name, I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" Crazy.
that was a moment. That was a
Yes.
big moment for Melodifestivalen.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
glad you feel so.
I surely did when I saw that.
Wow.
I was like, oh.
Oh.
Have you ever been to Italy? Caio is asking.
Yes, I have. I love Italy. Como Lake is my favorite place,
Hmm.
like on earth. And I've been to. I actually went playing there with Stockholm Syndrome in Milano.
Hmm.
Um, and have I been to more places? I think Milano and Como Lake is the only places I've been.
Hmm. And people are asking you to come to Brazil
I
as soon
would
as
love
possible.
that. You know what? Brazil have been always supporting me, like on YouTube and stuff.
Really?
Yes, I've always seen like names, and also on like Instagram, like love from Brazil, and I've always been so happy about that because it feels so crazy that you on the other side of the world, someone even in Brazil have been listening to my music. That's crazy. I would love to come to Brazil. I'm not sure how that would work out, but I will talk to my tour guy.
Yeah,
It
because
would be
it's interesting
lovely to
because
have a tour in Brazil.
we are very passionate about the artists that we like. Like we defend them until the
Ah,
very last moment.
that's amazing. That's
Yes,
the type of fans you want.
indeed.
That's
Okay,
crazy.
I would like to ask you, Cornelia, because the thing is that I did love Dance Salon.
Yeah, that's a great
I
song.
Yeah, I like it just a little bit, but this song it's much more special in my opinion. So
Yes, same.
what's the difference between taking part? Because when you took part with Love Generation, things were different. You were a huge favorite before. You guys went to the second round and then you did not reach the final. And then now you are alone. You were kind of flying under the radar after the performance. Everything, like everybody started to support you. The
Mm.
Afton Blood that poll put you in the first place. 42% of people were voting for you, like in the Afton Blooded poll, and like everybody
What?
was like, oh, "Yeah, you didn't see that?
42? I didn't know. Wow.
42% of
That's
people.
crazy. What the
It's
fuck?
It's
Wow.
crazy. So things changed now. Then
Oh.
you were not one of the big favorites to qualify, but then you caught the votes, you entertained people, and you qualified. So what's the difference between 2012 and 2011? And then 10 years later, you're coming back with your own composition, with a song that it's not about a DJ, a party with a DJ, and and what's the difference between now and then?
Actually, it's almost everything, I would say. Like it's it would be easier to say what's not the difference. But it's it's I would say that now I do my own thing,
Okay.
and I do what I want, and I write my music myself, and everything. I mean, everything from I also design what the number and this circle, and everything is according to how I want to do it, and that feels that makes me feel very safe. And I think that's maybe the biggest difference, that I feel safe in what I do now, because I've done this because now I'm only myself. So it's not so much to like do. It's not that I have to like rehearse all the moves and uh and like sync with the other girls and be like, we should like, now it's just me. And I've been like playing live shows so much my entire life, but especially my like the latest years. Even with Stockholm Syndrome, that was we did tour a lot, but that was another type of live show. But still, it was a place where I had the time and possibility to get to know myself as a live person. Like,
Mhm.
how do I? Yeah, I think the hours of just doing it is so important when you're about to be a live performer, and that's what I see myself as. I see myself more as a live performer than an Spotify artist,
Totally.
because I,
100%.
I that's what I love to do. And when I write music, I always write it with my mind set on like, how is this gonna be live? Because that's the important thing to me. I want it to be. I want to know that I can see myself. If I write something, I want to know that I can see myself do it live. Because otherwise, I don't like it. And I want to get a vision, like quite directly, like, oh, here you would want to do this kind of color in the lightning, and here could be like this, and we could do like this in a live version and have a longer part here when we do it live, because there Erik can make a guitar solo and blah blah blah. I always think uh, from that perspective when I write music, because that is what my core is. I want to play live. I want to be a live musician, and I love writing music for that. But that also is the reason why I'm not a big fan of like writing. just being a songwriter, because that doesn't motivate me enough. Like I have done a few I do sometimes sessions for other artists, but it's not very often, because to me writing music, it takes a lot of energy, because I put
Energy.
in my heart, and like it's I really I don't settle for less than I can't just write a song like that, because then I don't feel it doesn't have a purpose for me. It has to be like connected to something inside, and uh, otherwise I don't think it's fun, and in that case I just don't want to do it. So um,
May I interrupt you for a second?
yeah, of course.
Because there is a question about that, and then
Huh?
I'm going to continue talking about that because, oh no, no, not this one. Kayo is asking about what's your writing process. You kind of answered that before, but especially when it comes to Hold Me Closer, I do agree with him. It feels like a storytelling. So can you tell more about
Mm.
that? Just continue speaking.
Sorry, just
Just continue speaking what you were saying, and that's
yeah.
fine.
um, I love storytelling, and that's, I think that is a lot what what I meant with what I just said, that uh, I like I it's almost like it's physically, I can't finish a song if I don't feel what it's gonna be, what I'm gonna talk about. Then it's like I can't sit down and do it, because it's like nope, nope, I don't know, no, I don't feel it, I don't have the I don't know what this song is gonna I don't feel what this song is gonna be about, or what I want to talk about in this song. Because I mean, a lot of artists are like, okay, but let's find a theme, and then like, they just finish, because it's like you can always come up with things that is sounds good, and like, but I just can't do that. And it's been so many times that it's taken me like 4 years to finish a song because of that. Because it can be like because I always write melodies first, um, and then when I've got the melodies right, I start to like start to listen for what words comes naturally, when I've just like recorded a demo vocal of the melody. Because most of the time you sing words that just comes naturally, and sometimes it's just like words that you've been using too much before, so you just don't want to keep it. But sometimes you just say a line that you didn't know that you wanted to say, but when you sing it, you just, there's something, and then you're like, that sounds like it could happen, like it could be about this. And then if you get the key, because to me it's always like this, if you find the key to what it's gonna happen, what it's gonna be about, uh, what you want to sing about, like lyric wise, if you find the key and you feel it, then the lyrics comes very easily.
Okay. Okay.
But if I don't have the key, then I can sit like for it can take so much time, and I don't like sitting like that, because I don't like working when you don't have the vibe. And I know that's kind of like, that's something that my dad says, like, you can't be like that, sometimes you just have to do the work, and the vibe is coming to you. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to, it's not funny, and also because I have faith in the genuine, because every time when I have like pushed, like didn't finish something because I didn't feel it, then it might take some time, sometimes years, but then suddenly something happens in your life, or you see a movie, or you hear something, and you like, suddenly that song comes up, and you're like, oh my god, this is what it's going to be, like be about. And then it goes like this to write it, and it feels so natural. And I just have such a huge respect for that natural um, um, feeling when you create stuff, um, and that I know that um, like a lot of creative people would say that is very childish, because of course, like if it's your job, you need to also like set the time. But I think it's like a fine line. Sometimes I do that, especially when I'm with Isa. She's great with like making me finish stuff, because she's like, now we're gonna meet up on Tuesday, and we're gonna write this, and we're gonna finish this lyric. And I'm like, okay, okay, and then we do it. And she's very good at like making me feel stuff, because she knows me, and she can like, but think about this time when you told me about this and this. What do you think? Maybe blah blah blah. And it's always easier when you have someone to that you trust and that you know that you have faith in because you like what they do. To have to like yeah throw that ball over and over with, which I really have with Isa. Um, but sometimes it just takes a lot of time for me to realize what it's going to be about. But when you find the key, it goes very quickly and natural. And oh yeah, about Hold Me Closer. That was the question. Sorry, I forget the question because I talk too much. Um, the Hold Me Closer song was this summer when we met in, I think it was in July or August. And it was funny because Isa had we were actually about to like cancel the session because Isa was so tired, and me and Isa wrote another song the day before that we were really happy with. So we're like, the odds of making two great songs 2 days in a row, that's not so big. And Isa had I think she had like PMS or something. She was she had a lot of anxiety that day, so she was like, oh, do we have to do this? And the time when we pushed the session, we wrote to David like, can we start at 3 today, because we're really like night people, we like working in the night. And he was like, yeah, totally, that's fine. uh and then I said to Isa like, let's just go there and we can just have fun with it for a couple of hours, and let's just see where it goes. And we went there, and that was the best session we had that year, or even more for me, especially. And that was just like I had this relationship for that was like very on and off.
Yeah.
And the first time we wrote, it was kind of I think we were on because I was in a good mood. And then the second time when we started writing more of the lyrics and stuff, it was it was really bad with this uh, other with this guy that I was dating at the time. So it went very natural to write about that, because it was so much like it was just very recently that a lot of things had happened, and I got so much like examples of things that he said. And like, yeah, I think I even like citat, I don't know, I quote him in the song sometimes.
Okay, I got it. Mhm.
And I think it's even if I know that he knows that it's about him, because we have a lot of like friends in common, but even if he didn't know, I think it would have been very easy for him to understand, because it's so direct and
It's
like
his words.
taken from my life at the time and my feelings at the time. So that one was quite easy to write, because we had so much to like experience to take from, and so much feelings at the time.
You are actually inspiring Kyle, because Kyle just said that, oh my God, I asked you the songwriting question and you answered exactly what I would answer.
Oh,
I am a
really?
beginner and I always do melodies first too.
Yes, and that's very like different from people to from person to person, because there's a lot of especially earlier in my like songwriting experience, I maybe felt more insecure in like
Mhm.
having it like doing my way, because if it was someone like it, very early in the session like, what do you want to write about? And I was like, I don't know yet. Depends on the melody and the like. Some people want to know before you start, like, what is this gonna be about? And some people want to like write lyrics as soon as you get one melody, and that's not how I work. So I'm quite happy that I like, you're getting older and you feel like there's no right and wrong. It's just, if I'm the artist in the session, then I should be comfortable in saying like, I like to do it this way because I know it's going to be better. um, and since the other people are there, have said yes to write for you, then you should be comfortable in like saying how you like to have it. But it took me some years, and to be yeah, to be confident in telling people how I would like to do stuff. So it's good that you write and just do it your way. And um, yeah, at the same time as it's good to try different ways also,
Hmm.
because sometimes someone else's way can be super effective on you, if not all the time, maybe once in a while, and it can be fun to try something else.
Kaique is saying that your accent is fantastic, the Swedish accent. He loves
Really?
it.
Oh my god! I feel so. I laugh so much about myself when I hear it in afterwards, because and also if I get a little bit what do you say, like if I feel embarrassed or something, I start to speak
Yeah.
like more Swinglish. It's like, well, hello
Sweden.
there. It's yeah, very nice to meet you all, and yeah, I speak like our prime minister did a couple of years ago. It was a guy who was horrible at English, but it was very funny. Yeah, Swinglish is very funny, but I do my best to not sound too much.
You sound perfect for me.
Oh, thank
Kaique is
you.
also saying that I just want to say that I saw several interpretations of your song "Hold Me Closer" is about exactly on Twitter, and I could ask you now, but the ambiguity is part of the beauty of the song, in my opinion. I do agree with him.
What is
It's a
What is that? Ambiguity.
it's ambiguities like, for example, people are going to have different interpretations, like every person is going to analyze the song in a different way, so there's not only one meaning. There are two, four, or more meanings for just one thing or song.
Uh, and okay, so I have to read the question again. I just want to say I saw several interpretations. Aha, okay. It's about exactly on Twitter, and I could ask you now, but the ambiguity is part of the beauty. Ah, okay, yeah. So you mean like you like the fact that it can be different for different people. Yes,
Yeah.
actually, that was something that we talked about when we wrote it. Also, that because sometimes it's really nice to make it really specific. I know that we were trying to make it more like speaking more about like details of time and stuff. But then we also talked about that it's such a beautiful thing when you accomplish to write something uh, that is connectable for more for everyone, or like at least for many people, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same way as you um, experienced the relationship or whatever. Because I think and I think right now we ended up in a quite good like um, way there, because
Mm,
it's very much details from my specific relationship, but it's also very reliable on many others, I think, because it's just feelings. We more describe feelings than a specific moments
exactly.
where no.
I Marcus is also saying that you have the ability to really convey every single word from your songs,
Mm.
the enunciation, the energy. I totally agree with him, 100%. All the
Wow.
feelings that spring inside us when you're singing "Hold Me Closer" are so magical.
Wow, thank you, thank you so much, Marcus. That's so beautiful for me to hear. I get really touched by that. And I'm so happy you feel that way, both of you. um, yeah. Um, oh, that's just another
Yeah,
one.
there's another
Yes,
one.
I feel everyone can hear. Huh. Oh, perfect. Even if it's very personal, that's that makes me really happy, because that was the goal, like to make it personal, but still for everyone to be able to make their own, because that's the beautiful thing about music, when you can listen to something and it connects something in your life, and you feel, yeah, it can make you feel less alone, and
Indeed.
um, mm, it can be healing in so many ways, I believe. So I'm really happy you felt that way.
Well, I'm glad you're happy. I just have one last question, okay?
Hmm?
Something very tiny. About the performance, do you plan to change something, the lighting, or okay, you maybe you should not tell us.
No, I can tell you that it was actually. I know that SVT had a lot of technical issues
Mm-hmm.
during the first week, so there was a lot of things that didn't really go as planned.
Mm-hmm.
Even on the Saturday when we were competing. So I think I'm not planning to change much. My mother is what do you say? Because my mother is a tailor.
Sewing,
Yes.
sewing.
So she's sewing some extra glitter on the vest because we felt like, oh my god, now it's a final. We need to have a lot of glitter. Um, so she's doing that. I think like maybe right now as we speak. So a little bit more glitter on the vest. And we're gonna check about some technical things about this circle that I have. We call it pricken, which is like the dot, but it's more of a, I don't know, like a coin or something. But the thing that I had like with the color, and we're gonna check some things with that was supposed to be in the first one, but didn't really we didn't manage to fix it. So and also the lighting was hard to. They had a lot of problems with the lighting, so it's going to be hopefully more lights, more light show, more things happening in the lights, especially in the last course. Um, but it's not going to be like huge differences. Um, that is always like a hard thing to know because I'm a lot like I want to do something new when it's like I'm like, oh, but now they already seen this, now we have to do something new. But it's also I've heard that it's good to not change too much also because it's kind of the uh, yeah, it becomes like an identity of the performance. And it's I'm trying to calm down.
Cornelia, I think it was an amazing. It's early in the morning. It's not. It's like 1 o'clock here now in Brazil,
It's
and like yeah, it's very
in the
sunny. But
morning, no, in the day,
yeah, in the
like
day because yeah, we started at 11 o'clock, eleven
yeah.
thirty. So it's like in the morning, midday,
Yes,
kind
that's
of like
definitely
that.
morning. Everything until
Yeah,
2 a.m. is morning.
yeah, it's a kind of morning for us. But
Yes.
like Cornelia, it was so good to talk
Or no,
to
I mean
you.
2 p.m. Sorry, I always say wrong. I mean everything until 2 p.m. after lunch is morning for me. So you're totally morning. Sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, so we are both night persons probably.
Yes, definitely.
So it was wonderful talking to you. Wonderful. You are a great.
Pleasure.
Yeah, like I was so surprised of how much you could tell us. I really expect you to release an album. I think you have very special songs, and like it's all you when you were talking about the melody, it's something that sometimes when it comes to the Eurovision selections, we always have these songs, but they lack the melody. And I think it's very important that we can have the melody that sticks to our mind and touches our heart. And it's beautiful how like I wrote two of the songs because I listened to the whole your whole discography before this interview.
Up
And
on Spotify, you mean?
yeah, I
Did
listen to
you?
everything. Of course, we have to
Wow.
do that because like the two songs that really caught my attention. There is one that's longer. I like that too, but like "Shy Love" and "Dream Away" are just amazing, great
Oh, that
songs.
makes me so happy. Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
amazing. It was amazing getting to know you better as an artist. I'm pretty sure you touched a lot of people with this interview, and I just can I just want to say thank you very much for accepting this, giving us your time,
Of
and
course.
sharing your life with us. Thank you so much.
Now this is the fun part to talk with you, and I'm really happy that there have been some people watching and asking questions, and like this is just amazing. Oh, is everyone that is listening to you, are they all from Brazil?
No, we have people from different countries here. We have people from Portugal. We have people
Ooh.
from Brazil. Kyle that talked about your songwriting process, and he said that it's how he also feels when he's writing his songs. He's
Mm.
from Brazil.
Caio from Brazil, do you know him?
Yeah, yeah. We
Oh,
talk
cool.
from time to time. I know him from Twitter.
Ah, nice. Well, hey, Caio. No, this has been amazing, Sanyo. Really, really much fun. And I hope to talk again. And I really hope that I'll be coming to Brazil
It would
soon.
be awesome.
Yes.
As, as soon as you come to Brazil, just let us know because we'll try to see you live.
Yay. It would be amazing.
Okay, thank you very much, everybody that is watching. Thank you, Cornelia, for giving your time and sharing with us
Thank
your
you.
experience. It was great. See you. Bye,
See
guys.
you. Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye. Bye bye.